Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another Dice Tower preview. I am Bryan Drake, and I am so excited today to be talking about an expansion to one of the great games that came out in the last few years, Deliverance. This is Deliverance, Council of the Fallen. Deliverance, Council of the Fallen is a skirmish and campaign-based cooperative game where you play as the angels against the demons, trying to battle over the town of Fallbrook in the original campaign, and now all sorts of tricky things are happening. It plays 1 to 5 players, and what's great is it takes about 1 to 2 hours per session. This is from Lowen Games. Let's take a look at what Deliverance, Council of the Fallen brings to the table. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. All right, let's first talk about what's new in Council of the Fallen. First and foremost, there's a host of new things. See what I did there? But there are 9 playable angel characters, including one that is exclusive to the deluxe campaign. Now, I backed the campaign last time, so not only do I have these acrylic stands, but I also have the miniatures down there. Just an incredible amount of stuff that came with the first campaign, so I look forward to see what Lowen Games has got up their sleeve for Council of the Fallen. But first of all, there's 9 playable angel characters, including one that's exclusive to the deluxe Kickstarter. There's 10 angel miniatures, including the Kickstarter exclusive angel. There's 7 new Fallen Prince boss encounters to play. And my personal favorite part, there are 6 mystery boxes to be unlocked during the campaign. Literally nothing I enjoy more than finding boxes inside of a game box that says, don't even think about opening yet. That just makes it fun, right? Because in your mind you go, but I want to open the game that I bought. And you go, not yet, you got to earn it. And that's what's so great about this, is there are mystery boxes in there. So there are 12 plus scenarios in the physical scenario book, but potential to double that with stretch goals. That's always exciting. One of my favorite mechanics in an old Super Nintendo game would be when you had multiple endings, right, in a campaign. Well, this one allows that there are multiple endings with unlockable content that depends on your choices. Now, what I've discovered already by playing through the scenarios that I have is that there are choices that you have to make. And depending on the choices you make, certain outcomes will happen. And it can definitely affect the rest of the campaign, which is super exciting. What I really like about this is the terrain tiles as well. You're dealing with terrain tiles that look completely different than Fallbrook. You've got these kind of lands that look chaotic, and there's portals and all sorts of energy and stuff. It's really exciting to see us take a different look at a different almost dimension or realm or something like that, which is really, really cool as your angels do battle against the demons, minions, and all that sort of stuff, and those fallen princes. Also, what's great is there are secondary objectives in the missions and the scenarios of the campaign, which is cool because you can unlock special unlockables depending on if you choose to do those secondary objectives or not. I always love when a game gives you the opportunity to go, yeah, we could just finish, or we could go and do that thing to hopefully level us up or boost us for later, or who knows what happens. And for those of you who have mastered the use of the angelic host in the base game and this game, there is a legendary mode, which is even more difficult for skilled players. So if you think it's too easy, just level up and go legendary and fight those demons as they continue to shoot those bone arrows at you. Those cruel archers are vicious. One other thing to note that's really great is if you've played the original, the difficulty level kind of increases at a gradual pace, where in this game, that difficulty speeds up a little bit, whereas missions 2 and 3 in this game, Council of the Fallen, feels more like the difficulty level of missions 5 and 6 in the original Deliverance game. Now that's a quick increase, but what's really great is that allows you to test your skills and abilities at playing Deliverance, Council of the Fallen with the new powers and abilities of the new angels. Case in point, Ariel is one of my favorites because she comes with Nebuchadnezzar, an ally, or Nezi for short. He is a lion, like a heavenly lion that plays out there. And one of the actions you can give her is to give Nezi actions, and he gets to use them to fight as well. So you're controlling 2 kind of characters at one time. It's a really cool new mechanic. Some other new things as well. This one's huge. Adds a 5th player. Not just for this one, not just for Council of the Fallen. It goes back in and retroactively, backwards compatibility-wise, adds 5th player use into the base game of Deliverance. So if you had that one extra person at game night who showed up because you told them there was going to be chips and queso, and they were like, oh, I want to play too, and you're like, we've always set it up for 4. The good news is now you can go back and play all of Deliverance with 5 people. There's also revamped 4-player rules that allow for you to do something simultaneously to speed up a 4-player game. Now, not that a 4-player game takes a long time anyway, but it lets you do some of the things that you could already do, but simultaneously to kind of keep that flow of the game going between boom, 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 boom of your turns, the demon's turns, your turns, etc. There's also an updated solo mode, which is great because it gives you an opportunity to use the Intercessor in a 2-angel solo game. That way you don't have to just take Michael out there and slash up some demons and the Intercessor goes with you, but no, you can take 2 angels with you and the Intercessor and play that out. It's pretty great. Also, what's really cool is it goes back in and remasters the original campaign so that you can add the 5th player back in, but also some extra things that have to do with the people of Fallbrook and the narratives of the humans at Fallbrook going into some more missions later on. Now, that's just a few points I wanted to cover as far as what's new here, but I also want to show you some of the things that I can show you. Now, there's some things I can't show you, but of this, I've got it set up for the base game scenario Council of the Fallen scenario 1. But let's take a look at some of the prologue, what's happening here in Council of the Fallen, to give you an idea of where the story goes, and that's where our new scenario book comes in. Eleazar fell before the onslaught of demons. His wings rent, his mighty staff spent. The flow of demonic legion spewed forth from the portal like blood from a vicious wound, trampling him into a helpless form that lay on the ground. The quivering portal remained intact, despite the valiant angel's best efforts, now obscured from his vision by the incoming rabble. What remained of the horde of fiends that assaulted him now pinned him face down to the ground with their blades. Even though the demons were about to turn him into a feathered pincushion, Eleazar's thoughts were consumed with the small portal. It mocked the gift of time, which had been entrusted to him by the Almighty. Time, among the greatest marvels of God's genius, was crafted to bind together all of creation, thanks to the fall of mankind, the bringer of the end of all flesh. Now that's just a taste of the prologue here. I don't want to go any further because there are actually some spoilers for the original campaign if you haven't played it yet in here. But I'm just telling you, the narrative here of the story of what's going on is tremendous. It leads into the new fallen princes. It leads into all of the sorts of things that you're going to be facing. But let's take a look at the intro to the first mission, what I have laid out here. Before you stands a tear in the fabric of time, rent into existence by the hands of the devil himself. Your mission that brought you to the sleepy little town of Fallbrook was to cut off the powers and the princes that served the darkness. However, what you found here was a far greater threat to humanity than you could have ever imagined. You searched for answers and addressed prayers along the way. You made your mighty stand against the demons, and after a long campaign of hard-fought skirmishes, you now stand before this wound in time itself. A portal into the past, which Lucifer somehow crafted. One of your angelic cohorts sent to scout the new territory returned with disturbing news, confirming heavy fighting among the hot sands of the ancient Judean deserts. The portal seemed to weaken with each use, so you resolved to guard it and bid your ally farewell. You watch as they step through the doorway and begin to wonder what purpose this serves in this devil's scheme. The long wait to receive few answers does little to soothe your senses that seem to tingle at every small disturbance. Is this an elaborate trap? How long till other demons learn of this? Are they playing the part already? A shifting of sand on a ledge catches your attention. They're at the entrance to the cave. Even now they pour forth towards the portal. Towards what end? You draw your weapon. Protect the portal until reinforcements arrive, lest the expedition in the hope of answers be cut off. So that's the setup of the first mission. Basically, you're in the ancient Judean desert protecting this portal, and you've got to last 7 rounds. Now, in this, you're going to play like typically in Deliverance. You're going to play with your angels set out there on certain spaces. You're going to have certain minions and imps and demons and all that sort of stuff out here fighting them, but you're going to also have a new thing with this blue box where it's going to have events. Depending on the angel count that you're playing with, you're going to add certain things to the board. You're going to fight new demons. Different things are going to come out. Basically, you need to survive through 6 entire rounds, and at the beginning of round 7, if the portal is safe and the angels are alive, you win this scenario. Now, This is just a tease of what's to come in this scenario as you kind of learn the basics, because a lot of people, I assume, may just jump straight in with Council of the Fallen, even if they have the original or somebody else they know has the original. This is the chance for them to go, ooh, that sounds awesome with all the new stuff. This first campaign introduces 2 of the new enemy types, the Abyssal Hound and the Slime Ball. Well, what's also great about that is you get some of the new status effects that are in this game, which will move across the board and cause damage and just terrible stuff to happen to your angels. So in that, if you're playing the campaign or the skirmish, there are new prayer cards, there's new heavenly treasures, there's new darkness cards, and again, all the new host of enemies and angels and all sorts of stuff that make this campaign such an exciting launch. Even in this pre-production version, there are secrets that I didn't even know were here, I didn't know about. And when you discover them, you're like, oh, well, that's pretty awesome. So there's so much new packed into Deliverance Council of the Fallen. If you played the original and liked it, you are going to absolutely love Deliverance Council of the Fallen because of all the new stuff and secrets and mystery boxes it adds, not to mention the expansion up to 5 players and revamped rules for solo players playing with 2 angels. So make sure you check out Deliverance Council of the Fallen. I'm so excited for Deliverance Council of the Fallen from Lowen Games. Make sure you check it out. Back it on Kickstarter. I definitely am so happy I backed the first original one and I went all in with the deluxe package. So make sure you check out Deliverance Council of the Fallen from Lowen Games, and let's crush a demonic horde together. Thanks for watching. I'm Bryan Drake here on the Dice Tower. Thanks to Lowen Games. Excited to see what happens.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.